Talk to Me Tuesday on Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. I am back home in Albuquerque. I got home on Monday night, and yesterday was work and unpacking, and work turned into a total catastrophe because we finally got some rain and water started pouring in under the fire doors at work. So we had 5 shop vacs going, and we had to close early and clean up. And the cleanup continued today. Things are in a much better place, which is good because I am teaching a class in the morning, a paper piecing basics class, and it's full. So I'd like to be able to, if any of those people want to buy anything while they're there, that would be great. So we are going to be open, and that's good. It's just been so dry, and we got so much water so fast yesterday, which is how it works, right? Flash flooding, that it just couldn't drain fast enough, and so it looked for any path it could take, and it took one right into the store. I'm glad to be home. I had a good time with my sister and my brother, even though I spent a good amount of time, driving with her and the kitties up to her new place, and then unpacking. She still has a lot of unpacking to do. I don't envy her that at all, but I think we made some pretty good headway, and she's kind of at the point where she's kind of getting settled in and ordering some curtains and things like that to make it feel like home. It's a cute little house, and it's right next door to my nephew and his wife's 5th Street Nursery and Market, which is a really cool, like, boutique nursery and market, plant nursery and market in Clifton, Texas. And it's a small town, 4,000 or 5,000 people. It's smaller than Alpine, so I know it was really small, but their shop is fantastic, and their people love them there. It's great. I had a great visit with them. Got to spend some time with my great nephews and my great niece. I got to give her her quilt, the Tamagotchi quilt, and that means I did get it finished, although I didn't get it bound until I was there in Clifton at my sister's house. I flew it with my binding and everything else by thread, and I finished it there. So I will put some pictures that I took of the market, and also of the finished quilt which we hung up at the market. We hung up to photograph front and back, and that was pre-washing, and then after I washed it 4 times using a total of 24 color catchers, it was still bleeding pink. I gave it to them with that warning. The clouds weren't supposed to be pink. I can't get them unpink. Maybe eventually they'll not be pink, but it looked great. Maddie loved it, and I took some photos of it after washing and drying because, oh my gosh, y'all, the crinkle. I just love that so much. When you wash a quilt for the first time, the difference between an unwashed and a washed quilt to me says this is a quilt that's meant to be used, and it's just homier, and it's squishy, and the way that grid quilted up, the way that it turned out after washing was amazing. And so I'm really wanting to make another quilt with a grid like that that's really close together. Maybe not 1 inch, maybe like 2 inches would be cool. But it just looked so neat washed that I have to do that again. So Tamagotchi is done and gifted, and I'll put finished pictures at the end. And meanwhile, Project Linus is this weekend, and of course I have nothing but of my own. But Jennifer did. I met up with Jennifer while I was there. She drove up to Clifton. Just happens to be between 90 and 100 miles from where Jennifer lives, and so she drove up and kidnapped me for a couple of days, and we hung out in a hotel, and we went and visited antique malls and things like that. It was just great, and we got to just catch up. And yeah, it was a great time. It would be fantastic to live that close to each other. That's all I have to say. To be able to just, get together once a month. That would be cool. So Jen, thank you so much for coming up and kidnapping me. I love you so much, and that was just fantastic, and helping me get the quilt photographed and film my little video last week. And she also brought me a finished quilt. This quilt actually was done before she went to New Hampshire. So this is I don't know, the last one she finished off of her frame before she packed it up. And it went all the way to New Hampshire and back. And so this is it. And I think I have it upside down. It's super cute because the backing is directional. It's super cute. And of course, like all of her stuff, she did her flower spiral thing, spiral flower. Like all of her quilts, the quilting looks fantastic. And I'm thrilled to have it because now I have something to turn in Saturday. Yay! And y'all, I don't even know how many blankets I've turned in this year. I haven't been keeping track. I've been trying to photograph everything, so I need to really take just a little bit of time and figure that out, but I haven't done it. Now is the after time where you try to get back into regular thinking of what things need to be done. I do have to get the Moxie into the shop. I did not finish until literally the night before I left town. So obviously I couldn't get it into the shop before I left. So that's got to happen soon before I can quilt anything else on the frame. And in the process of, I was in such a hurry and I was moving the machine at one point when I wasn't quilting. I knocked it off the carriage and I broke one of the wheels. So I ended up having to finish quilting it with a broken wheel. So I got to replace the wheels, or at least one. And yeah, so I won't be doing any quilting for a bit on that machine. But I do have some really small quilts, and I can probably get a couple of those done on my Juki over the next month. Teaching basics in the morning. Next week, I'm finally teaching that paper piecing next steps, which is that crazy looking kind of spiral log cabin that I designed. And I have 3 people signed up for that so far. So I have to get the pattern finished writing up and get that out to my students by Friday night. I promised they would have it by Friday night. So I'm back in town. I'm busy, busy, busy. I hope that y'all have had time to be crafty while I was off lugging boxes and unpacking boxes and visiting with family. I haven't watched any videos yet. I look forward to watching those and getting caught up. And I will see you next week. Bye. Oh, I almost forgot. I didn't even tell the elephant in the room, right? I made myself a new Talk to Me Tuesday shirt. I hope you can see this. I got some puff vinyl because I've been really wanting to try it. 3D puff vinyl. Because, you know, take you back to the day, 80s, 90s. It worked. It worked. This is so, you can see it best on the microphone. I don't know if you can see this at all. So I've got the Talk to Me Tuesday thing on the front and on the back. I've got the website. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.